President Donald Trump travels to Dallas, Texas to attend a GOP fundraiser amid a growing feud between him and two Republican senators. On Tuesday, Arizona Senator Jeff Flake announced he would not seek re-election next year before criticizing the president for his, quote, reckless, outrageous, and undignified behavior. Tennessee Senator Bob Corker, who is also retiring at the end of his term, also bashed Mr. Trump for telling lies. The president says he intends to release thousands of documents about John F. Kennedy's assassination. Kennedy, the nation's 35th president, was murdered in Dallas 54 years ago. Congress has set a Thursday deadline for all material related to the tragedy to be released. And the Los Angeles Dodgers have taken Game 1 of the World Series. The Dodgers beat the Houston Astros 3-1 at Dodger Stadium last night, despite the record heat. Game 2 takes place in sweltering Los Angeles again today. Well, Congress gave its final approval to spend billions of dollars for natural disaster relief. Included in that amount, $576 million for wildfire relief and recovery needs. This summer alone, wildfires in Montana scorched 1.2 million acres at a cost of $386 million to fight. Senator John Tester took to the Senate floor Tuesday to stress the urgent need to restock Forest Service accounts so the agency can move forward to salvage timber and restore roads.
When the Forest Service has to borrow from its non-fire accounts to cover firefighting on the ground, we lose out on critical maintenance and mitigation and restoration work. This funding will pay back those accounts and support the work that is needed to recover after a record-breaking fire season.
The bipartisan bill provides a long-term funding fix for the Forest Service by funding catastrophic wildfire relief the same way as other natural disasters. Meanwhile, south of Roundup, firefighters have the 600-acre Lazy R fire 60% contained. Musselshell County authorities report the blaze in the Bull Mountains has not grown since Monday. Flames destroyed a primary residence and a hunting cabin after the fire sparked Sunday night. 20 residents were evacuated in the Johnny's Coal Road area and were allowed to return to their homes on Monday evening. The specific cause of the fire is still under investigation. Fallon County is in line to get more than $2 million in federal disaster assistance to help the community of Baker recover from last year's destructive tornado. As you see in this video taken just a week after the June 2016 tornado, it was widespread, destroying homes, barns, and utility infrastructure. The storm also dumped 100 tons of hazardous debris into Baker Lake, rendering the popular recreation spot off limits. The $2.1 million will be used to restore Baker Lake to its pre-storm condition. In other news, it may soon cost a lot more to take in the splendor of several national parks, including Glacier and Yellowstone. The National Park Service announced they are looking at increasing fees at several highly visited national parks during peak visitor seasons. The money generated by the proposed hikes would be used to target aging infrastructure, including roads, bridges, campgrounds, water lines, bathrooms, and other visitor services. The proposal calls for peak season entrance fees to be established at 17 national parks. Fees for a private vehicle to enter Glacier National Park would go from $30 to $70. The same goes for Yellowstone National Park. From May to September, the fee would go from $30 to $70. A public comment period on the proposal runs until November 23rd. For specific information on fee increases and where you can submit public comment, go to our website, ktvq.com. On to court news. A man accused of causing a fatal crash on the Crow Indian Reservation this summer is now in custody following his arrest in the Billings Heights earlier this week. A Yellowstone County Sheriff's deputy arrested 34-year-old Brandon Clampett on a warrant out of Crow Tribal Court. That's where Clampett is charged with negligent homicide, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, negligent endangerment, and tampering with evidence. The warrant, issued this past June, accuses Clampett of causing a fatal crash between the Crow Reservation and the Northern Cheyenne Reservation. The tribal prosecutor declined to release the victim's name, but says the victim was a non-Indian male. We're told alcohol was not a factor in the crash. On the campaign trail, former Billings state lawmaker Linda Moss has her eye on Montana's congressional seat. In a filing with the Federal Elections Commission this week, Linda Moss lists Friends of Linda Moss as her principal campaign committee. Moss served in the Montana State Senate for 8 years, from 2004 to 2012. She served as Senate Majority Whip in the 2008-2010 session. In 2012, she ran for the Montana Public Service Commission, but lost out in the Democratic primary. Moss becomes the fourth Democrat to announce plans to seek the Democratic nomination. She joins Bozeman State Rep Tom Woods, Billings Attorney John Heenan, and former Land Trust Director Grant Keir of Missoula. And now we go to Helena, where more than 100 educators, healthcare workers, and other professionals came together to talk about improved early education opportunities for Montana kids. They took part in the state's first Early Childhood Collective Impact Institute. Tuesday's event was designed to get organizations thinking about ways they can work together more effectively to help children. Governor Steve Bullock gave opening remarks. He talked about the impact state-funded pilot preschool programs are already having in Montana, but he also said more needs to be done to give every child access to that kind of resource.
We know that they will be ready when they enter kindergarten. We know that no matter where they came from, what their background is, that they will have every opportunity, or at least the platform, to succeed as every other child does.
If we can work better together, if we can share what's working in our local communities, as well as stay organized and connected at the state level, we know we're going to do better for children.
Organizers say they hope to make the Collective Impact Institute an annual event. Back here in Billings, victims and witnesses of domestic violence are being honored at Angela's Piazza on Grand Avenue. Silhouettes standing outside the home tell the stories of women, children, and men who were killed by a partner or family member. A vigil was held last night in hopes of spreading awareness about domestic violence. Experts say women often do not report the abuse because they're afraid, fear they will be doubted and even judged.
We all know of friends, relatives, and it's sort of a delicate situation to bring up, but I think education is probably the best way of helping women, and then also knowing that they're going to be supported and not judged.
Data from the World Health Organization shows 1 in 3 women is a victim of domestic violence. Elsewhere, firefighters are often some of the first on scene for any emergency, including fires, crashes, and medical emergencies. That means they have to be prepared for just about anything, even serving as an impromptu delivery nurse. On Tuesday, firefighters received delivery training in the Billings Clinic simulation labs. They walk through techniques and what to look for if they are ever in the situation where they need to deliver a baby. Firefighters have to be jacks of all trades, and hands-on training helps them prepare for whatever may come their way.
Mannequins, they breathe. They have heart rates. They have movements. They are the patients that we all evaluate in the field. So having them see that here and actually getting their brain moving in that direction, it's as close as we can get to the live patient without actually being in your house.
Biggins says 80% of calls the fire department responds to are medical related. And checking in on one last story before we take a break. As cooler temperatures start to set in, the children over at the Head Start program and Billings Explorers Academy are getting geared up. The Adult Resource Alliance volunteers knitted 386 caps and mittens for the kids. The winter essentials were laid out on Tuesday for the children to choose for themselves. The event is organized by the Adult Resource Alliance, which helps recruit young volunteers to knit hats and mittens early. If you would like to be involved, the Adult Resource Alliance accepts yarn donations year-round.